of Random Chats with Dade and Jude. I'm Dade.
And I'm Jude.
Welcome to a very random conversation. I don't know how we come up with them, we just do. And even us are just like, I don't even know how we came up with this. So, Jude, do you want to tell them what we're talking about today?
Well, today, really, really randomly for us, as it goes, today we're going to talk about dinosaurs.
Not Barney, the big purple one. No.
I hated that dinosaur.
Did you? I didn't really get into him. Obviously, it's not my kind of generational thing, but...
I mean, I had to get into him because of the kids.
Yeah.
And I can still hear that purple dinosaur singing in my head when you mentioned it to me. Oh,
what did he used to sing, Jude?
The words something like
Okay, I just wanted you to do it so it gets back in your head.
Oh, you meanie, I'll be doing that in bed tonight.
Yes, we are talking about dinosaurs today, which A, very random topic, B, I had to do some research, so I've got some research. Oh, there's my chair again. Whoops.
Oh.
Let's just do a day definition to kick off, because I just found it funny, because everyone should hopefully know what a dinosaur is. A fossil reptile of the Mesozoic era in many species reaching to enormous size. And the reason I wanted to do a day definition, because the other definition that I have is a person or a thing that is outdated or has become obsolete because of failure to adapt to their changing circumstances. A dinosaur. So I just like the second one. They just also applied it to something else. But yes, we are talking about the thing that made millions of dollars in Jurassic World and never got an award for it.
I mean, that's just not even fair, is it, to be fair?
No. But what do you know about do you remember, when I thought about this topic, the thing that made me go back to was do you remember going to the Natural History Museum in London?
Yes.
Right, it's a beautiful museum, one of my favorites to go to. I remember going as a kid, right? And that's where I mostly encountered my first dinosaur, obviously not living, but I most remember as you walked into that great hall, there was always a quite large dinosaur in the middle of the hallway. And you'll be like, yeah. They used to run around the world? Yes. Crazy, right? Like, it's just crazy to think that something that size would just be wandering around on the planet Earth that we know today.
Absolutely, I know exactly what you mean, and the enormity of it when you do walk into the British History Museum in London. Sorry, the British Natural History Museum in London. Yeah, it's just so awe-inspiring, and it's obviously appeared. That scene's appeared in many a film as well, and I think that does have a really nostalgic childhood feeling about, you know, how small we are, how big they are, and just how amazing the world can be. So yeah, I'm with you on that feeling for sure.
And when I was doing my research, I was like, I learned a lot, which was great, right? I learned, and just get my notes because I took some notes. In the Pangea era, Jude.
I know, and I know what that means too. I think it means when before all the countries kind of started splitting off with the water.
Yeah, the supercontinent. You know, you're like, okay, a great kind of time, but it was 245 million years ago.
Blimey.
Blimey. But when you think about that, you're like, yeah, I can't even fathom how many years. Like, it's just a long, long time ago.
I mean, how long have we been spinning? How long has this Earth been spinning? When you think of it like that,
yeah. It's a very, and that's the thing, is that when you start to think about how long the timeline has been, and like what was before the dinosaurs, like
absolutely,
we kind of never talk really about that.
I don't think I've ever talked about that.
Is that a valid question?
I mean, I think it needs to be a valid question. Definitely one that I'm going to be Googling after this podcast.
Yeah, same, because I'm kind of like, what does that mean? Like, what does that? Something would have happened. So,
and also, what happened?
How?
What happened in the period after the dinosaurs to the 66 million years that lapsed between that and maybe the birth of mankind, or there's some holes.
I just did a quick Google. Dinosaurs arose from a small Dinosaurus morph ancestors in the Triassic period, where the climate was harsh and dry. They faced competition from crocodile archosaurs from 10 millions of years. Finally prevailed in the Pangea began to split. So they started as small dinomorph ancestors.
And why do they have to have such big, complicated names as well?
My brother was called Bob.
Right. That's way easier for us to do.
Yeah. The earliest dinosaurs originated and diverged in what is now South America before trekking across the globe more than 220 million years ago, when continents were assembled into one gigantic landmass called Pangea. Nesbitt and his colleagues described the dinosaurs in the deck. I don't know what that means, but look, that's what it says on Dr. Google.
And that's interesting, actually, because the most amount of dinosaurs that have ever been found have been found in China and the US.
The most, yes, most probably.
So what I should say is the most remains that have been found because of the huge land masses. So obviously they were all roaming around. But when I was doing my research, you're going to love this. This could fall into a Judaism bracket. I couldn't figure out why there were so many dinosaur remains found in the Isle of Wight, which is a small island just off the south coast of England. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, can they swim? And then, of course, when I delve into it a bit deeper, I realised that this was when the Isle of Wight was still attached to the southern part of England. And so therefore they were just roaming around like you just explained.
Yes.
But I have a dear friend whose parents live in the Isle of Wight. And I was like, did you know there were a lot of dinosaur remains in the Isle of Wight? She too thought the same as me. How did they get there? I was able to share that bit of insight. I was quite proud of myself, Dade.
How did they get there? How did they get there? Yeah, it was interesting because once the supercontinent split, that's when they started to like develop differently, right? Different foods and different things like that, which is where they evolved over time. And that's where I think they've identified over 1,000 species.
Wow.
1,000. Like,
that's crazy, isn't it?
Obviously, I know there's lots of animals and things like that today, and they do exist in some form today.
They do. Oh, I know this one too, but do you want to go first?
Well, if you know, like I'm asking the question, so
well, I believe that the bird is the closest descendant to a dinosaur.
Yes, still. One of the remaining ones, yes, they've evolved and adapted over time, which I'm glad that they've kind of calmed down, because I've seen some of the flying ones in the era of the dinosaurs, and they look quite scary.
Correct. Yeah, the old pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does sound like, okay, so I don't know where your research went. I was like, here was about like 1,000 species in the Triassic era. The largest dinosaur, the largest land mammal ever lived. Dinosaurs, I've just written down here, so maybe I've really done that really bad. But how long do you think he was? Well,
how long do I think this Dinosaurus dinosaur was?
Deadnautius.
Deadnautius. Okay. God, that's the one I've not heard of, obviously. So I'm just going to completely spitball an idea at you and say 100 feet.
Nearly, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's about 90 feet.
Oh my gosh! I should go on your pub quiz team next time we go down the pub.
Like, if you imagine how long that is.
I mean, that is long.
Imagine, and 65 tons weight. Like that's a big dinosaur.
Is that bigger than a T-Rex?
Yes, because you wouldn't be able to run as a 95-ton kind of long kind of thing.
No, you'd be really slow.
Yeah, I didn't study up on the dimensions of a T-Rex, but I obviously from everything and how they've ever been portrayed, I would never want to meet one.
No, but however, every T-Rex is.
For people who are just listening to this, Jude just then try to like act like a dinosaur and put her claws up.
Claws. Well, T-Rexes always are portrayed with their teeny little like
they got little arms.
Right, flappy. But apparently, their hands didn't face forward like mine are now. For those that can't see, my knuckles are facing out. They actually were like this. They were on their side, which made them even more like, they could probably just like grab things if they needed to, you know, to eat maybe, but they weren't this way. They were actually that way, like palms facing in.
Now, if we think about all the dinosaur movies or everything we've ever seen, it's all like, has there only ever been Jurassic Park in dinosaurs? Has there been any other dinosaur-related?
There has to be.
Surely somebody else has gone. Steven Spielberg can't hold the rights to dinosaurs.
No, exactly. No, I mean, I guess I've seen like toys, like toy dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like I've seen like the T-Rex like just like rips off someone's head and like things like that. I've never seen them use their hands together, like grab anything, because
no, I don't know what their purpose is at all. They're just kind of there. It's interesting, isn't it? And then when you think about it, the T-Rex, what was I going to say? Is that we were talking about that dinosaurs are now like closely linked to birds. The T-Rex, apparently its DNA is the most closely linked to a chicken.
I've heard that. Why have I heard
right? But my small brain can't compute that at all.
Maybe you just like, if you eat a T-Rex, it tastes like chicken.
I think it does. I think it might.
Once again, please hire us to educate your kids. We're very good.
We are just here to entertain.
As we try and navigate topics we don't really know much about.
Absolutely, because we're just being random when we're doing what we do.
Oh, and look, at the end of the day, I think I'm just enjoying actually just going off and like researching topics as well, just to be a bit more informed, but also just going, did you know?
100%.
Now, okay, so let's just go like, obviously, let's just talk about, if you can't imagine even like that amount of like dinosaurs, just the size of them and that just wandering around, right? Obviously, they're not going to be in this kind of environment, but like all the different types, like, and just eat, like, kill or be killed kind of environment. Like at least they had vegans back then as well. Like at least they've been.
Because they were like carnivores and there were omnivores and herbivores.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite dinosaurs is the Diplodocus, I think it's called, with its really long neck that just to reach up to the high trees to get to pick the leaves and stuff. And they were quite gentle. And apparently there are some dinosaurs that you could even have as a pet because their brains are so small, which is another crazy thing. Their bodies are so large and their brains are so small that they just wouldn't even be able to, they're just literally being able to get by in life.
And the thing is, they lived for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just looking at this now, and you've got obviously the Triassic, the Jurassic, the Cretaceous.
Yes.
I said that wrong. But like all of this, like this is over like hundreds and thousands of years. Like, question.
Yes.
If the dinosaurs did not get made extinct, and we'll come on to that topic, so do you think we would have been around? Or do you think dinosaurs would still be running the world?
That's a really difficult one because there's loads of layers. There's loads of layers that would affect that, wouldn't they? Like you said how dinosaurs would change to suit their environments as humans have, and the things that we've man-made around us. I mean, would they just become like, you know, your average pet dog?
I doubt that. Have you seen my T-Rex? Stunning, isn't it? Stunning, isn't it?
Your T-Rex ain't my dog.
I'm just like obviously we've evolved over time and things like that, but like would we have ever gotten the chance to evolve, like if they were still around, or would they have just gone nah?
Well, that's an interesting point because obviously, you know, going back to our Steven Spielberg Jurassic Park movie, they are depicted as like, you know, the carnivorous dinosaurs as attacking humans, but there's actually no evidence because we can't prove that because it wasn't possible. It isn't possible to do. So
but if you're a dinosaur and something's running away from you, you'd mostly go food. Like you'd mostly look at it and go food. I will say what was very clever. Do you remember going to see Jurassic World at the cinema when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Like not Jurassic Park, the original.
Yeah.
I remember when them big gates are opening and it's like, oh my God, I want to go to a theme park with those dinosaurs. Do you know what I found really clever around how they got the DNA? It was because of the amber. I just thought that was such a clever way
And
to
so
introduce it.
believable.
Yeah.
So believable.
Yeah.
Because it suddenly sends your mind thinking, well, of course, mosquitoes carry blood. So what you're actually theorizing here could actually be applied in a number of ways. So it's a believable possibility.
Yeah. So you never know. Dinosaurs could be back.
Yeah, but I hope not, because if I did see a T-Rex coming down my road, I'd probably, well, I don't really know what I do actually. Several things come to mind.
Yeah, but it would just be like the Jurassic World obviously gave us a different glimpse into like obviously how they lived and how they lived on the earth and chased each other and all things like that, but and how adaptable they were as well. Like, but like how like big and like big claws, and you just go.
Well, you're kind of in that movie as well. They're kind of experimenting, aren't they? Because they're assuming they know so much from all the research and
Yeah.
you know they do know about them. What they
we don't know. How do we know?
We don't know exactly. So yeah, maybe that's a few years away from happening yet. But yeah, so it's an interesting concept, isn't it? If they were still around, if that, well, I don't want to say too much in case your point is coming, but if they were still around and what happened to make them extinct didn't, then yeah, who knows where we might be.
So yeah, because I was reading up around obviously when the asteroid hit, they said one that they were mostly on decline anyway because the volcanoes of the earth were polluting it so much that they were starting to die anyway. And I was like, oh,
yeah, killing all the vegetation, right?
Yeah, and then the asteroid basically hit. And I think they said that when I was I think I was listening to something about it, and it was like 100 times the Hiroshima bomb going off on the planet.
Wow.
I know, right? And it basically said that it wiped out 75% of the planet, but 25% still lived, which is obviously where things evolved.
I wonder, it might have been around the other side of where that asteroid hit.
Other side and in the water.
Oh, right, okay. Because I know that when it hit, one of the main reasons why the dinosaurs became extinct was because this huge ash plumage and ash cloud came up and it basically completely covered the sun for what I can only imagine must have been months. And so there was no sunlight, there was no clean air. Obviously the water was all, you know, toxic or whatever, you know. So they had no chance. But yeah, I mean, that's quite an overwhelm, because I mean that we've never had an asteroid hit as big as that, like since then.
No.
Like 200 or whatever it was, 66 million years ago. So it's kind of like, it blows my mind actually when you think about it in that quantity.
Same, right? Can you imagine if something like they said, hey, just let you know, asteroid's on its way, we have no hope. You'll be like, sorry, what now? Like, and look, I'm not going to diss a dinosaur right now in the sense of they maybe have not found out that something was going to happen, but we have now technology to let us know that something's going to happen. So they were mostly unaware and died without not knowing what we would be aware.
Yeah, that's probably, you'd probably not want to be aware, wouldn't you? Just like be surprised and just make it quick.
And look the way the world's going at the moment. I'm sure Mother Nature's going, looking, I just need to wipe you bastards out. You're not looking after my planet.
Right? Well, man ruins everything.
It does. But yeah, look, I found it really interesting, this topic, Jude. What did you think?
I've enjoyed it because, like you said, like doing the research on such a random topic, it kind of like pushes you to want to kind of, you know, have some things to talk about, as crazy as they may be. But I'm definitely learning things. Like I didn't actually know exactly what the asteroid did in order to wipe the dinosaurs out. I didn't know whether it was just big one, like one landed in one area and that was that kind of done and dusted. I obviously learning about Pangea and learning about the, you know, the countries all being still connected at that time. That's another kind of crazy thought as well, to think how different the world would have looked then to how it looks now. And I found one other interesting fact along my research journey, which I found like quite overwhelming, because obviously we look at crocodiles that look prehistoric, right?
Yes.
And alligators. There's actually, apparently the turtle is is as old as the dinosaurs. So when we think about do dinosaurs walk among us,
Yes.
turtles existed in the same time period, as did cockroaches.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They don't die.
They just don't die, do they? And and apparently when you do try to kill one, it screams so loud that it's a warning sign. Human ears can't hear it, but they scream so loud that it's then a warning to all the other cockroaches that are around in the village, shall we say. And then they go and like alert all the other cockroaches that there's danger around. So they kind of scurry around. So that's probably how the little things have managed to survive all these millions of years.
But the stories they'll be able to tell of the dinosaurs that they used to say. But I do know that whilst crocodiles and alligators look like they aren't a direct descendant from dinosaurs. The only ones that are today are birds.
Yes. But I think I had a conversation with you offline because I was in a debate with my husband whether primates and monkeys were living at the same time as dinosaurs, because I was convinced it was just the dinosaurs ruled the world at the time. But there were definitely other creatures, not many, but there were that still exist today.
There were, and we would have evolved. Timeline here, Jude. Here you go.
There you go.
Here we go. So as the world's gone on, so that let's just go back to like 700 million years ago, shall we?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's just do that.
All right.
Do you remember where you were then?
You've got corals, so that kind of around then, and then it evolved to 500 million years ago, where like fish, jellyfish, crustaceans, worms, and all of those started to come around. Then pteropods, insects came just after that, and then 300 million years ago, reptiles and dinosaurs, which were then followed by birds, and then mammals came after that. So there's a bit of a crossover. Oh no, actually no, I'm going to take that back. So you had mammals just around 120 million years ago, and then 100 million years ago was flowers and bees. Obviously that then that there, and it was only 60 million years ago were primates.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But then it still became. It was. No, stop that. So 60 million of those was primates, and then 5 million years ago was Australopithecus or something. It's the first kind of evolved kind of more into a human form, and it was like they're just saying it's only 50,000 years ago that Homo sapiens came about. So we're the youngest in this.
God, we're like babies, total babies.
We're just a blip.
We are a blip.
A blip on the timeline. Like fish, like they're 50 million years old.
Crikey.
Right.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It kind of blows my mind. Now, I don't know if we've got time to do this, but I did have a little bit of fun up my sleeve, which I wanted to do with you, if that's possible.
Was it the trying to appear as a dinosaur that you did before we press record?
Well, I'm not supposed to share that. I wanted to do a little quiz with you, if I may, to find out what kind of dinosaur you would be.
A very one with a good jawline.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Yes.
So you're eating in the school canteen. Do you nibble on a salad, tuck into a veggie burger, order up some chicken nuggets, or eat the dinner lady?
I would go the chicken nuggets, most probably.
Okay. Your favourite biscuits are on the top shelf in the kitchen. Do you ask your mum to get them, jump up and grab them yourself, stand on your tiptoes, or go hungry?
The first one, jump up and grab them myself.
Okay.
I used to actually, when mum and sister used to go out, I used to actually bake a round of cookies and then eat them all before they got home.
That is so sneaky and conniving. I kind of like it. It's break time at school. Do you play football with your mates, hang around and chat with friends, read a book on your own, or hide in the toilets?
Hang around with friends.
How do you get to school? Walking, by scooter or bike, by bus or by car?
Me, it's walk, always.
Your dad takes you clothes shopping. What do you get? Shiny badges and neon shoes, a bright colourful top, jeans and a t-shirt, or trick question, you'd never go clothes shopping?
Jeans and a t-shirt. I did worry where that question was going to be.
So did I when I was reading it, I've got to be honest. How do you decorate your bedroom walls? Celebrity posters, loads of pictures you've drawn, just a small photo, or you don't?
Say that question again.
You've just, how do you decorate your bedroom walls? With celebrity posters, loads of pictures you've drawn, just a small photo, or you don't?
It'd be celebrity ones of half-naked men. Please refer to previous podcasts called Random Incidents to find out which ones.
Noted. You're invited to a party. What do? Say yes, yes, yes. Go only if your friends are going. Rip the invite into tiny pieces or stay at home and watch TV.
The first one, 100%.
I knew that about you. What's your idea of a perfect holiday? Camping with a lot of mates, climbing Everest on your own, relaxing in the sun with friends, an isolated hut in the depths of the forest.
Oh, can it be number 2 and 3? Like, I'll do Everest quite happily and hang with the. Can I?
Okay. You've got to pick one, Dade.
Let's do the ones with friends.
Ones with friends. Good shout. Which fairy tale character matches your size? Puss in Boots, Cinderella, Jack, the giant out of Jack and the Beanstalk, or the Beanstalk?
Jack.
Jack. Okay, we're nearly there. You're running for the bus, do you? Make an effort, puffing and wheezing, catch it when you try really hard, overtake it, or run, no way.
Overtake it.
The Earth is going to be destroyed tomorrow. What would you do? Have a massive party, text all your friends to say goodbye, go for a long walk and smell the flowers, or watch online videos in your bedroom?
Party on.
You would be a Cryolophosaurus.
What does one of those do? What do those do, Jude?
Current research suggests that the Cryolophosaurus was a medium-sized social creature that ate meat. According to your answers, so are you. The Cryolophosaurus was the first meat-eating dinosaur fossil discovered in Antarctica. Although now a frozen land, Antarctica wasn't always covered in ice. When dinosaurs were alive, the world was mostly a lot warmer. All sorts of plants and animals lived in the Antarctica then. There you go.
We've really screwed this planet up, haven't we? Well, thank you for me now being a new dinosaur. I will become that dinosaur. That could be my middle name.
Yeah. It could be your stage name.
What one did you get when you did it?
Well, I didn't actually. I decided to save it for you. It was my gift to you.
All right. So Jude will do it, and then she'll put in the comments of this podcast what she is. All right.
She's gonna be a T-Rex.
She just wants the hands. All right. Thank you for listening to another random chat with Dade and Jude. I'm Dade.
And I'm Jude.
And we will see you again soon. Take care now.